Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 32 of the King Arthur Pendragon, Age of Anarchy. I'm Eric. I am your master of ceremonies. I play everyone else. I'm EricVulgaris everywhere. I'm super excited to be here for this episode, even though it might start on a kind of a downer. Colin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Gareth is not doing great, but Colin's doing just fine.
Mm-hmm. Colin and I have been Sea of Thieves for the past couple of
Oh
days.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's my new game to hate. Like I won't. I'm never gonna stop playing it.
Yeah. It's
But
the Dungeons and Dragons of video games.
yeah, the contempt grows with every time I play. I love it. Can't
Yeah.
stop.
Awesome. Speaking of not stopping, Jim, how are you doing today?
How's it going? I'm good. Had a good day too. I had a chance to actually be a human being for a few hours, and that was a wonderful feeling. Instead of a content machine. Let's play some games. Content. Some more content for your consumption.
My lord, may I have a nice bowl, a second bowl of content?
Content.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So today's poem is just a stanza from an anonymous poem. Obviously I chose some stuff about grief. So like if that's not your thing, then maybe you know what, this episode shouldn't. Probably just don't watch this episode for this first part here. But the stanza for me, I don't know why it stuck to me. It seems kind of corny, but without further ado, it's those we love remain with us, for love itself lives on. And I don't know, I thought it was pretty powerful, just like that line in and of itself. Yeah. So we're gonna start with the funeral for Elaine today. The way I'm kind of seeing it is that I sort of imagine we're sort of at mass for this, or maybe right after mass, and there's a song that's played, and it's kind of like this is actually translated from a Welsh funeral song. I don't know how old it is, but the reason why I wanted to play this part is going to come just in a second. And it goes something like, I don't ask for a luxurious life, the world's gold or its fine pearls. I only ask for a happy heart, one both honest and pure. And like it kind of goes, and this, you gotta kind of remember this back from Earl Roderick's funeral and stuff. This is kind of just a very classic song here. And and I just want to go to this next part here. It goes like, a pure heart is full of goodness, is fairer than lilies. None but a pure heart can sing in the day and in the night. And Gareth, there's a part here, this next verse that kind of you kind of imagine for a moment Elaine with you at Earl Roderick's funeral. And it goes, if I wished for worldly wealth, it would swiftly go to seed. The riches of a virtuous heart will bless eternally. And you kind of remember Elaine kind of just doing this big side eye, her cheeks kind of rosy from a little bit of wine beforehand. And she goes, my love, if Father Tathan sings this song as badly as he is at one of our funerals, I swear I will kill me twice. And it kind of just breaks your heart for a minute.
Yeah, I think Gareth has gone.
And it's so funny and ironic, right? This song compared to like how we know Elaine, but obviously for a funeral, it's very and it's just like it just gets it because so
yeah, I think Gareth has, since Elaine's death, worn nothing but black.
Yeah,
and has been remarkably cold, withdrawn, like business as usual, in that kind of unnerving way where it's like you're allowed to have feelings. You're allowed to let this hit you. It's very clear that Gareth is not letting it hit him.
Yeah. He has rushed and built walls.
Oh yeah.
Gareth, so if I'm hearing you right, then you probably didn't reach out to anyone for consolation. But have others offered consolation?
Uh,
Have you just turned them all away? Even Sir Sir Irwin? Or no?
until the funeral, absolutely. The
Okay.
only person that Gareth has sort of reached out to has been Aiden,
Yeah.
Moriad's son,
Sure.
who Gareth has essentially made live at Winterbourne Gunnet
Sure.
since his father's death. Right now, one of the household knights is looking over, but with whomever he was squire to, functionally, he's at Winterbourne Gunnet.
I believe it was Brethric.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense to me. I'm just looking here real quick. It was him. Control F. What am I doing? All right. Cool. So then, I guess this would be the first time, Irwin, you have a chance to talk to your to your beloved friend, and if there's anything you wanted to have for parting thoughts here for him.
Yeah, I do think one might be a bit surprised maybe, given Gareth's the directions that he's been turning and the changes he's made. If he cut himself off so much, but respect the distance. Everybody having had Irwin's first wife just up and die that first year, he's like, this is a difficult thing, something that someone has to get through in any way they can. And so I think he's gonna just approach Gareth quietly and just very minimal, just if you ever need anything, you do not have to close yourself off. Let's stand together.
I appreciate the offer, Erwin. But against what would we stand?
Still
against whom?
Whoever comes our way. We have a flock to watch over. We have people who depend on us. And it's not going to make the pain any easier. But it can be a reason to get up, do what you have to do.
My wife was not, as many think, obsessed with power, strength. She divided the world in two. It's true. Not into strong and weak, not with that inelegant moralism of those like Sigarius and Uther. She saw useful and useless. And I fear I was not always useful to her. Nor, perhaps, useful enough to my children. Salisbury or Logris. If you have seen no show grief from me, it's because I fear that to do so I would become utterly useless to anyone. And I should not like to betray Elaine like that.
You can really take a man.
In
a way.
I've come to resent every dog I see, every cat, every horse, every rat that is allowed to draw breath, while Elaine does not. And if I were to make myself useless with grief, it would be to slaughter each and every one of them until the only people left in the world, those who were as useful as my wife once was. Shall not. I cannot.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I think Ur was just going to let that stand.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything more to say. He's just going to walk, with Gareth for a while, quietly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of space. People will give you space to walk around the gardens or whatever, as you see fit. So, the mass, yeah, with the mass and procession complete, Elaine will lie in her burial shroud forever, entombed in the mortuary chapel of Sarum Cathedral. Above its closing doors is the chiseling of Saint Michael, depicted in his solemn duty of carrying of the souls buried here into the arms of the Lord in heaven. Cool. Before we jump to your feast that you're going to do to honor her, there's one thing to do. Cholderton. Erwin, you're being pillaged.
Oh, that was rough. Okay.
Remember, this is the most severe form of a bandit type raid.
Yep.
Knights of Rydican and their company barrel towards your keep. So this is like maybe either in the past, right? A flashback again or something like that. A straight battle against them is out of the question. You must raise the alarm and roll siege. You'll get +5 because of your walls to endure.
Yes, and so that brings me to a 20 siege. Start with that.
Yep, and let me get the conflict rules open. Awesome.
Here goes nothing. Ugh,
Hey, it's a success.
Man.
That's good.
It's a success. Okay.
Check your siege this year, and then go ahead and roll a 1d6. You're going to be adding 6 to this result for the amount of misfortune you've garnered this year.
11.
Okay, so let me go ahead and open the Manor tracker to incorporate a +11 to your conflict part this year. Your calamity. Cool. You doubled your calamity this year.
Oh yeah, I bet. I was thankfully I was not building anything.
Look,
so
yeah, exactly. That would have stopped as well. Again, though, it's luck of the dice, and being pillaged here is the worst, right?
Oh,
all right. You're not out of the frying pan yet. You now must roll 3d6 HP damage. You ignore armor for this. This is to determine whether or not you've suffered a major wound in the defense of your house.
Nope.
Okay.
Threshold 17.
Oh, okay. Then pretty much very rarely will you ever take that. And then did I tell you to mark siege already?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good. Children pillage out of the way. Now we can chill and we can do our funereal feast. Let me right click.
Said it's 10 Libra to throw one of these.
Yep, and you'll be getting 100 glory. It's 10 glory for every 1 glory spent. In the book, it's 1 for 1, but that doesn't. I don't know. I don't.
Such a bad return.
Yeah, that I would rather you spend it. So I'm 10 timesing it. Let me send us over to the game screen. I had to move everyone for the Easter feast to the GM layer for us, so apologies. That's what for everyone watching, that's what you're seeing here. Obviously, Gareth, it's your feast, so you sit above the salt. You don't have to roll appearance. I feel like that's granted. Although that does mean you don't get to draw cards.
That's so much worse than my wife dying.
Yeah.
No. I can't. I can't. I'm not strong enough, Eric.
Well, you could actually change this. I mean, this is your feast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want this funeral and you want to be able to be a little bit more loosey-goosey with the rules here, it's your funeral and let things go. I feel like some sort of role here would mean that it's your feast and you can party like the way you want. It's your funeral.
No.
Right?
No, as much as I love that idea, I will stick with the rules. It makes sense. Gareth is gonna be at the high table, you know.
Yeah, right. Cool. Knights, obviously, all across Logris will come. mostly the ones from Sarum. Let's see here. Actually, I wouldn't see why Lady Jenna herself wouldn't be in appearance along with their retinue. Right? Lady Elaine was a lady of the court, right?
Yeah, she came from Exeter.
Raised,
she did a lot of
basically
work
helped
here.
raise, Lady Jenna. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, Jim, you also succeed, so you're near the salt. Cool.
Our Squire's 16 or 17?
This is a new year. I believe they're probably 17.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, no, good question. I think 497 is when you got them, so.
Yeah.
Oh, try.
Makes sense. No worries.
Okay, cool. A 2 for feast.
2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say it's a feast per 5 gold is the round of a feast. Something like that, right? Not so you can't do 6. There's no like cheating
For
this.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like.
There's a modulo thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Per 5 gold, draw a card. So you get to do 2 cards, 2 rounds of feasting.
I'm not seeing the feast screen on my.
I didn't
Me
drag
neither.
you over here. I have a small brain. Here you go. Feast secured.
Ta-da.
Awesome.
I think this feast will probably be about maybe like 20 or so nights, give or take, with Lady Jenna here. So roughly, like a 5th of Sorum has turned up here. Like
Nice.
Lady Elaine is loved and appreciated in her own way, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you've actually gotten a couple kind of jokes about she that of not even jokes, but kind of just that sort of feeling of some people here feel like obligation to her, in sense they're still kind of intimidated of her beyond the grave kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Like how she just has that demeanor, and it's like I could never live. They would be here anyways, but it's like I could never live not coming here.
Yeah.
She would conspire against me with Saint Peter to never let me in ever. You know what I mean? Like there's that kind of like jokey thing. Out of respect for them as they like wipe a tear from their eyes about her. And despite her cunning and her power hungriness and her attitudes like that, she is well loved and admired amongst everybody.
Yeah. I wonder. I think Gareth might play into that.
Yeah, for sure.
On his turn. I think obviously Jim goes first.
You got a host card.
I did. I don't think it's very appropriate. It's host calls for a hunt. I mean, given that the host is a player, I'll give Colin the.
Yeah,
Colin.
I will let you out of that card.
Okay. What if Lady Jenna proposes it because she thinks that's the right thing to do, and you must?
Oh yeah, I'd definitely go if Lady Jenna did.
And then you could choose to be like, no penalty or anything like that, but maybe that's where it still feels like pressure, of like the host.
No, actually, oh no.
Does that make sense?
Okay, no, I actually like this. I've got an idea.
What'd you rather do?
I think Gareth is going to call for a hunt.
Okay.
To keep everyone on their heels, right? In fact, he's going to say it like this. He's going to like announce, say, my wife may be dead, but her vision was far, and she left me apt instruction to guide me, even after her death. So, not I, but she that calls for this hunt. And I think he's going to spend most of the night like dropping those little things of like, oh yeah, like she obviously wrote me a bunch of letters, like she left me good.
Yeah.
So you said that people are still kind of afraid of her, and Gareth's going to like, good, you should stay afraid.
Awesome. I like that you're leveraging that. So this hunt would happen tomorrow, right,
Mhm.
in the morning or so. Just kind of like when you did with what's his name, Sir Richard.
And it's what, hunting or falconry that we check?
Hunting or falconry.
Falconry.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
You may decline, but you suffer -3 geniality. Probably.
As if. As
Yeah,
if.
I'm not gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna.
You also get a courtesy geniality. Colin, what do you want to do? And you also get two geniality.
I'm going to because I can't. I'm gonna gossip.
Wow, so you also get the geniality glory. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm into
man.
it. Okay, get that feast. Okay.
Yeah,
let's gossip.
Yeah, let's gossip.
Is gossiping in what context do you have one, or do you just want to gossip?
I think for the first part, I think Gareth is just trying to get an idea of like what else is going on out there, because we had a lot of internal stuff, and we know that shit's fucked up outside of Salisbury.
Correct.
But like specifically, are there military obligations that might be coming up soon? Right? We know that Duke Ulfius is fighting Saxons. We know that there's the mercenary king, right, out there.
Yes.
Colin or whatever, the dude we paid tribute to. Like, is anyone gonna call us up soon? Is there something like that coming?
Right. A lot of this you would be hearing Easter, but since Lady Jenna and the folks are here, there's a great chance to hear this sort of gossip. I believe you have to test gossip, though, right? Or test intrigue, or
let me check.
Or courtesy.
Gossip, intrigue. I roll intrigue.
Cool. I want to know also if you wanted to turn it towards the Confederacy. And,
that's gonna be my second one.
Sure. All right. So looking externally, again, a 1. Cool. So I think the most important thing that you're hearing about is that and this does tie into the external affairs of everything. There's going to be a new guest coming here. They just got the messenger who's arriving, and it is Prince Mark of Cornwall. I mentioned him one time before, but there is a king, Ingris, over in Cornwall who's been crushing it, as they say.
Right. Okay.
Cornwall, being in the bottom left of England, doesn't have many natural enemies surrounding it. So it kind of gets to get a free pass and kind of consolidate its own power. And that's kind of what King Eris has been doing. If you would recall last year, or maybe the year before, I mentioned it there. It's like literally 6 sessions ago. He captured, I believe, Tintagel Castle, and he made the Count bend the knee. Count of Huntingdon, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Count
so
Urban.
Is this like people are like, oh, let's join this dude, or watch out, this is like the next ambitious Uther type?
Well, the gossip here is like, do we fucking bend the knee to a Cornwall, Cornwall king, or do we fucking ally with Saxons? This sucks. It's kind of what people are at, right?
Yeah,
and they're like,
fair.
I'd rather take the knee to a Cornwall than ally with a Saxon. Is kind of what people are ending up on. They're kind of waiting for him and see what he does with the mercenary king, with Syagrius, right? And Syagrius has been Syagrius' attention has been switching to that now. Like, there's a threat from last, like, basically that's the other part that you have from this year, that he has not stopped in Cornwall, being sufficient with Cornwall. He is continuing to move further west outside of the normal ones, entering what would be considered Logris on this side. I forget the name of the place, the section of it, but it's your neighbor to the left, to the west.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I remember it.
Yeah, I remember because we went through to explain the difference between
Somerset,
Cornwall, the place, Cornwall, the duchy, and then Cornwall, the kingdom.
Yeah, he is
comes from.
He is past his duchy. He is.
Yeah.
But he is his counselor is still crafting rights and titles, so to speak.
Suspect that was Crusader Kings.
That was a Crusader Kings reference.
Got
yes, he is not sufficient with.
Nailed it.
You got
High
it.
five.
But good use of your card, my friend.
Nice.
So Erwin. Remember, you
Alright.
draw 3 cards.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you. Let's see.
And I was reminding Suzanne about Lady Elaine, and I love the she is like she was the Crusader King's character. Gareth, you kind of did like pivot her into like there was that mutual respect and admiration, and in a way to, I don't know, like you did change her.
Yeah.
And
Look,
it's really
Gareth's
special, man.
great. Gareth is good at politics, but his specialty has always been not dying. And I think after the 3rd attempt, that's really when he started to break into Elaine's heart.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Very good.
All right, what are the 3 cards that we got here?
So I got 2 more drinks, 2 cards of the more drink, which gives no glory, and it's pretty much just like roll or get drunk.
Yeah, you forced
and then-
everyone to do drink tests.
Right. Thankfully, I do not have indulgent 16.
Yeah. You could,
I think I'm going to do a helping hand.
Sure.
Serving girl asks for assistance in taking care of a drunken knight, and it's generous versus selfish. So we'll see. It's 13, 7. So.
What if it's a drunken squire?
Ooh, yeah.
What if it's Aiden?
Oh, okay.
Or it's kid.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it fits. Certainly fits. Okay, where am I at? I know how to play this game. Okay. Generous wins. All right.
Generous wins.
Erwin's generous.
Nice.
5
And
glory and
I missed the next feast round, but the knight remembers my kindness, and I gain 5 glory and 2 geniality.
Wow.
that's
Nice.
a goodwill hunting moment.
Yeah.
You get to be Robin Williams.
Yes.
So, yeah, no. Like, so this moment for a minute would be like Sir Aiden is kind of, where would he be at your?
He would be at the high table.
I know, but I'm kind of thinking more like just around your manor. And I remember I kind of like remember the moat or whatever. And he's probably like out there, and he probably stumbled into the moat, like trying to find a place to pee, right?
Mhm.
As you do. And like you catch him like as he's like stumbling out of the water, Erwin, because like there's like a splash. And like, I don't know, you were like getting some air at the horses or whatever, right? And you're like, what the? Yeah, right. And you go pick him up here, and you see that he is drenched, but he's also like, he's just been super crying. He just lost his dad,
Oh yeah,
as
certainly.
well.
Yeah.
And he knows, and he feels like still like very much like a stranger here, right?
Oh
and
yeah.
now
They've only been.
right. He is technically while he hasn't been knighted, right? But he has no like claim or anything like that. He's basically entirely in Garrett's hands, right?
Certainly.
His entire fate and future in life is here. He has nothing, and it's kind of like that's kind of sort of how he feels, right?
Yeah. Maybe
Garrett doesn't
maybe
like
Erwin-
him. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like he was to say like Garrett doesn't. Sir Garrett doesn't like me. No one likes me. I don't.
Guys,
What is
Garrett
it?
didn't like you. You wouldn't be here. You know.
Yeah, and you just fucking you give him that.
I give this is
You give him that college
stern-
football coach speech.
yeah. You have nothing, but think of what you have to earn. Like, there's nowhere to go but up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's got to have to rapidly take some responsibility. So, get some steel in your spine.
Good. Awesome. Aiden will remember that. And that means we end the feast somehow with Sir Erwin getting more glory. That's not true. Not with the plus 100. But
not from the
Colin.
bonus too,
So your
actually.
grand total for this feast is 140 glory, if I read that correctly. Oh wait, you still have to go though.
Yeah,
one
I
more round.
get 1 more geniality because I get 2 for being above the song.
Correct. So you start with 2 for the round, and then you get 2 more for this round.
And I got 1 for passing the
You
intrigue.
got 1 for passing the intrigue, dude.
That's the rule we
That's what I
always
said.
forget.
50 glory. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
So for my final action, I'm going to gossip again, but this time I want to get, because we established the Confederacy of the River as like the Confederation. I'm going to use Confederation because I don't like
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Trips me up
no,
coming from
no
Texas.
General Lees here. The Confederation we know is a practical success in terms of like it is probably doing its job, but we don't really know how people feel about it, like on the grassroots level, right? We know what movers and shakers think about the idea because we had to fucking talk to them about it and get their approval and the shit. I want to know what the perception is below the threshold of power.
Yeah. So you want to talk to? Yeah, absolutely. Good.
Right? Like I honestly think near the end of the feast that Gareth just wanders into the kitchen.
Oh.
And right, like
cool.
Yeah, below the threshold of power. I'm not talking about knights.
Okay.
Knights have power, yeah. And they might speak to their knight's opinion, but this is also Colin curious. Like
you have kind of a
yeah,
but there might be kind of a dread about peasants. What do you think of this political move?
You know? Gareth is not in a mood where he cares about inflicting a little dread on his serfs.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he knows what it's like when the garbed in morning black. Be a
necromancer.
Yeah, like just dressed all in black, fucking stone-faced. Gareth wanders into the kitchen, like plucks up a baguette, and starts eating it.
Well, and there's an immediate, like, the whole kind of kitchen kind of stops, and everyone kind of, like, you know, kind of puts their head down, you know. Obviously, there's stuff on the stove. They're going to, like, keep doing it, but they're kind of like, oh, my lord, you know, kind of thing, right? But everyone's like, oh, my lord, you're back in... I don't...
Do your duties. I am here for the bread.
Oh, yes. Well, then, here, don't eat that one. And, like, they give you, like, a fresh loaf. Like they just made it.
Try like great. As soon as the guy reaches for it, Gareth just stares him down. Just like, no, I have chosen this bread.
Oh, we have a fresher one here, and look, we have some butter.
I'm sure you do. I sometimes wonder. I know Erwin wonders more than I do. What goes through your minds? I often don't notice you, but you're there like grass. I wonder, do you resent the trample of hooves as knights ride over you? The Confederation, this idea, what of it?
It's not our place to think about such things, my lord.
It's your place to answer questions I put to you.
Oh God, you got your head of the house in a fucking bind, my dude. He doesn't know how to answer.
Yeah.
Can you test trusting, I guess, or more like you're demanding it in a way, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like this should be a roll, if only because I feel you're gonna get the answer. The question is like, what do they feel about you afterwards? It's sort of the question.
I get that. Right? Yeah.
So like, you're gonna get your answer. It's just how they.
So I'm rolling trusting, you said?
Yeah, like technically it could be like a peasant test, right? But that doesn't really feel right to me.
Maybe trusting modified by like love of landlord or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they do like me.
And you're kind of like, hear me out. I love that idea. Okay.
There you go.
So, well, if you want to speak plainly, well,
can you speak a different way?
They don't know what to do. They're so scared, and you're just like running through them. He goes, well, it's very complicated, my lord, but we think it's a good thing because you're doing it, and we believe in you. You've always been a good lord, leaving us to our own thoughts and our own ways, never asking too much. Giving you what we have and all. Well, if it means that we're not getting raided by no Saxons, then I think it's a good idea, my lord. If you're keeping this place Christian, then...
You've spoken truthfully to your heart. That's good. I thank you for it. If I thought that you were dissembling with me, I'd have cut your tongue out as a liar. And he just drops the bread on the table and walks out.
Right. And he just like sits there and like literally doesn't breathe until you leave. And he just goes outside and throws up. It's just so like oh my god. Why did I ever like he's just like the head cook, you know? Like he's like not even like,
but I think just like the rest of the feast, there are going to be those little moments of Gareth doing that with various servants and dogs' bodies and valets.
There's, you know, and I bet you beforehand there was like the talk of the town, or at least, you know, the talk of obviously Gunnet was like, oh well, you know, with Lady Elaine gone, do you think Gareth is going to be probably in a? I mean, it's going to be a little rough right now, but the dread will it might feel a little more relaxed around here. And all you're just like handing the hammer down twice as hard, and they're like, you know, they're like, oh, things are going to change, and it's going to, you know, we're not going to, you know, it's going to ask too much of us. It's going to be.
Yep.
And instead you
in the stables they're like,
ship.
In the stables they're like, oh, our lord is so smart, not keeping us on our heels. He is not giving us a moment's notice. That's a proper lord, that is.
Now, say, do these look like beetles to you? And they look over like the straw, like, nah, it's good, and just throw the hay together. Awesome. Well, we're gonna stay on this page because we're gonna do some Easter feasting.
Hell yeah. Okay, so that was 160 for me.
160 for you, and 50 for Sir Erwin. No, you got a card with a 1 on it too, right?
5. There's a 5 app.
Right. Excellent. Now I need to select everything.
Never rolled hunting or falconry.
No, you just get a check on them.
Ah. Oh, okay, yeah.
All right. Proper feast time. I appear to have... No, okay. We are good. Let me put on some music.
Holy shit.
This is just some of the feast participants.
You're gonna hate to hear this, but I can't see most of their names.
I want to die.
I could see like
name. Show name
7 or 8 of the names.
Yeah, same.
Advanced name. Show nameplate. Can you select the ones, or can you like ping the ones that you can't see?
It'd be easier to ping
I mean, it's more than all of them, right? So
it's. Oh god! Oops! I just zoomed it all the way. It's like the entire second row and the entire third row.
Got it. Okay.
Basically, with the exception of Ferumbras, Bjorthric, Nesta, Marjorie.
Yeah, the ones we've had before. Like I've got Sir Frayed and.
Yeah, they all have the setting of show nameplate disabled for player permissions.
Gwaednerth. God, that fucking token is perfect. That's a Gwaednerth. Every time I see that, I'm like, that's a Gwaednerth.
Oh my god.
Oh man, Omig. Is that Tarkin? That's like Vincent Price and Tarkin combined. Like, yeah. I love it.
Yeah, they're not showing up for me.
None of them?
No, there's some of them are. It's like
I mean, I'm going. You should see everyone above the salt and near the salt. Yes or no?
I see.
I see everyone near the salt, and there are 3 missing. Yep, the ones that he pinged for above the salt. I'd also
Huel.
don't see.
Okay, that's Huel.
Riveting content.
Lycus.
Riveting.
Who's that last one?
This is your hard work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is Bishop Roger.
Oh.
Yeah, plot twist.
Bishop Roger is hot. All right.
Yeah, all my NPCs are hot. Okay.
Confirmed. Gwaidner.
Hot. Maybe untraditionally.
That's fair. That's fair. For our viewers out there, everyone is hot. Literally everyone, including you.
I can't help
Especially
it.
you.
Especially you.
Bedrock Squire.
All right. Barrel. Is that my barrel? The one I almost drowned in the moat.
It is. It is your barrel. He looks exactly.
Like a barrel.
He looks
like
exactly what you thought he was, right?
You can like almost see like where his youthfulness is just starting to disappear.
I know. That's why I'm obsessed with this. I feel like I'm very good at making tokens for these characters in the way I see them in my head.
Whoever this dude is next to Ferumbras.
Tinger. That's Tinger.
Tinger.
Yeah, he's like a cross football coach cross what's the
Ricky Gervais?
No, not Tim Allen, but the Bob Villa, the other guy.
Oh yeah.
Bob Villa, yeah.
From Home Improvement. It's like a cross between him and plus football coach is how I pictured him the whole time.
That's hilarious.
Tinger's I'm gonna make his token a little bigger because he's a big boy.
She is. It's been like a while since we talked to her. I made his heraldry, and then we proceeded to like not include him into any of our cool reindeer plans.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
This is cool because it's like it went from being just an amorphous sort of anonymous mass of knights. It's like, no, these people are here.
Yeah. That it's a nice context, honestly.
Yeah,
because it's like, oh, okay, these are the people Erwin's been sitting with so long below the salt.
Yeah, I mean, not included are all of these folks squires and stuff, right?
Right.
Like, there's way more than this. Yeah. But remember, Easter is sort of the most crowded this place gets, right? The whole hall gets cleared out. You all get to eat for days. Well, actually, just a day, but it's well remembered. Most of your days actually spent in church. As you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to bring your attention to the 2 VIPs, the two to the left or to the right of Lady Jenna. The first one up here at the top. This is Prince Mark of Cornwall. He looks a little bit like the lead singer of Coldplay if he was 12 years old. Chris Martin. Nice. He looks like a young little shit, and you're like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you have one of the sexiest men to have ever lived, Prince Koenig.
Easily. Good grief.
That hair. And like they're technically
hearts.
they're technically the same age, and they're both petitioning for like the same things. And like Prince Mark is this fucking like, how do I fight this?
The Virgin Prince Mark of Cornwall, the Chad Kenwick of Wessex.
Chad Kenwick of Wessex. It's very exactly.
Holy shit!
Like he's literally like this, like fucking traps. You know what I mean? The triangle.
His breastplate just says "ouch."
Holy shit!
I love it so much. I hate it.
Oh god!
Awesome.
Feast time. Three rounds, but don't you fucking grab those cards yet. We have one thing to do, and that's determine the food. Codtails,
lampreys, and hot sauce. This is a good feast.
And a selection of cheeses.
I have to say,
as you need.
I picked up recently Old Bay hot sauce because, like, I'm from Maryland. Old Bay is in my fucking blood. To have it combined with hot sauce for you in a jug, I've been putting on fucking everything.
Yeah, why wouldn't
It's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Just doing sheets of it. It's great. So,
Blue crabs.
But the thing is, you can't buy it in stores. You have to
man.
buy it from wherever kitchens buy it from.
Yeah, the restaurant surplus. Yeah. So I grew up in Maryland. Blue crabs with Old Bay. That was a treat. I had it maybe like twice a year because we couldn't afford it, but it was very good.
I had crabs up north, and they put Old Bay on it after they'd boiled the crabs. It's like,
what's
no,
wrong?
Man. What you boil it in the Old Bay? Like,
how do you?
It's got to be crusted on there. Yeah, it has to be like a second shell.
I don't. God.
Some people.
No, they don't understand.
No,
like we're very, very passionate about our Old Bay.
My friends from New York is like, isn't it just like they like rattle off the ingredients
that are salt and cumin, and you're like,
yeah, it's like
get away from me.
Okay.
It's a very defensive reaction.
Yeah, you're the atheist who goes to church and is like, oh, it's just bread and wine. No, that's the point, though. It's not. You don't have faith in the Old Bay.
Something happens in those boiler steamers, man. It transubstantiates into heavenly.
We've got another hour of game time, and I don't know if we're gonna get back to the game ever.
I don't know. We have opinions.
Yeah,
but
I love how passionate y'all are.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I kind of like Cholula. Anyway, I will go ahead.
Oh, I love Cholula.
I've never had. This is the first time I've heard of Bay, but then.
Okay. Yeah, no.
I'm not from Maryland.
But we all have to universally agree here on stream. This is something I have to say that Crystal is the best like generic hot sauce that you can get. Wow. Okay. That silence is.
I do not know.
Crystal. I mean, I'm not including Old Bay hot sauce. That's its own other category. Okay. But like, you know.
Sure. I'm not
like
opinionated
the red hot
enough
one.
about hot sauce.
I'm extremely opinionated, and it's Crystal.
All right.
Okay.
Got it.
Louisiana hot sauce, the only one. Anyways, speaking of,
so I got the Merchant of Venom. Court Jester has singled me out for lampooning Modest versus Proud.
Didn't you fuck up a merchant? You fucked up a merchant last year.
Well, this is a jester. It's I guess the Merchant of Venom is referring. It's a poetic title.
Oh,
that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, if it's a merchant, definitely playing this one.
I honest to God, thought you said Merchant of Sarum.
Oh, Venom. Merchant.
Yeah, Venom. Like Spider-Man nemesis.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
This would get someone knocked up. Another Wayward Wife was one, but then this is Easter Feast. Erwin's got his family with him. Several knights speak about gifts to their ladies, and this is I can roll love of wife or amour lady. So you know Erwin's on his domestic shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get this. Of course, people come to you about this. Of course.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. This right? It's a bunch of like young knights.
Yo, did you roll your appearances though?
Yes.
Oh, you did. You both succeeded. You're both near the salt. I'm kind of put one above and one below just so they don't get them mixed up.
Sure.
And you're getting one as well. Awesome. Let's see here. You're near the salt, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just roll a quick one. Ooh, it might be Sir Helid. Sir Helid. Sir Helid lost their manor. They were Woodford. So he, or no, sorry, Helid is they them. I'll make sure I put that in their thing so I remember.
That sounded familiar. I thought we were talking about some of the knights we visited last.
They are this one. Sir Helid is 42 years old. Their family is at Woodford. I don't have where they're currently residing, but in my notes they say lost their manor. This is Sir Helid who you kicked off their lands, Colin. Because their name is surrounded by Ferumbus, Helid, Morris, Brethric, Ferumbus, Helid.
Helid. Wait, he wasn't my former vassal, is he?
I believe he's your former vassal that you gave
Nope.
Moriat.
Yep, right, because Helid was a household knight and I didn't enfief him.
Yeah.
I enfiefed Moriat instead. Yeah. That scans.
All right.
That sounds like something I do.
So he wants some advice for impressing one of the ladies of the court. So I just said it. Fuck. They. I'm so sorry.
Let's see. Got a not rolling at a 19, but that still leaves a 5% chance open. So let's see if everyone has to deal with being melancholy.
Not today.
Not today. Not today, Melancholia. Not today.
Right. That is great advice. I will try that.
Excellent. Works for me.
Just get good.
It's just practice, you know. You go out there and you give 100%, put in your time, you know, all that business.
Yeah, like, is your general advice for this, like, what is it though? Like, you don't have to, I'm not going to role play it, but like, is it just like, is it perseverance, work hard? Is that sort of the thing?
I don't know that it's necessarily like. Yeah, I think it's more like Erwin's. Or I think maybe this year Erwin's spent a lot of time reflecting on his own, you know, married life. You know, say something along the lines of, you know, it's if you're to win, you know, a woman's heart, then must treat her as if she is desirable in and of herself, not for what she brings or status you will get. You have to see her for she is. And he's like, he can't express quite, I don't think he has the words to quite express what he otherwise would feel, which is a sort of equality in love, which is maybe the closest he's going to get to anything.
Yeah.
You know, progressive in Erwin's life. But yeah.
Yeah. In a big way, your romance with your wife is out of time. Like, it's anachronistic.
Certainly.
Not like it's running out. Sorry, I meant anachronistic.
Sure. Yeah.
In a way that's extremely rare.
Stuff. There was that one Hungarian king who was like, I love my wife and she rides with me to battle because she's badass in battle. It's like, all right, that sounds great.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Very, very few people get a chance, and especially in any echelon nobility, to actually marry who they want to marry without any consequences.
Was it the Hungarians or the Polish?
Oh, I thought you were thinking about Franz Ferdinand, who married the commoner lady, and like got disowned.
But that's pretty cool too. No, there was it was like maybe it was Wallachia, but there was a rule that you couldn't that the nation couldn't be run by a queen, but they forgot to make it explicit that the king had to be a man. So like I think it was the Kingdom of Hungary had a feat. Yeah, it was like, it's like Queen Titania. Like, yeah, you're right. I'm not a queen.
I'm a king. They're like, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
And those are the pro strats right there. Pro strats.
You know. It never changes, man. That's like the people who read those optimization guides for D&D characters, you know. The feat technically doesn't say you can't do it.
Yeah.
Sentinel behaves this way, so theoretically you should get sneak attack multiple times around. Yeah, you know, that kind of stuff.
That kind of thing. Listen, the medieval world is full of rules lawyers. That's so many more rules than we do. So many more
girls.
I got a juicy card.
All right.
Got a real juicy card.
Did you draw
passion?
Yeah.
During conversation, a fellow guest says you lack passion. Any passion, your choice.
To you?
I'm doing this. I'm doing this to myself. My love of Elaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You doing it to yourself.
Which I'll remind the audience, the love for Elaine was never a high passion here. So this is legitimately a good chance I fail. And if I fail, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to duel the motherfucker.
Yourself?
No, it's someone challenging my passion, saying you're not actually.
That's what I mean. I thought you said you were challenging yourself.
No, I'm saying Colin is doing this to himself, making
Got
this
it.
very hard for myself and twisting the
Got it.
knife, as it were.
Very, very fair.
So I have to roll Love of Elaine, and I fail. So I reduce it by 1d6. By 1d3. Oh. I check proud and I can challenge the knight to a duel if I'm talking to a knight.
Okay. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm gonna roll /roll 24. 3. Pedrog.
Sir
Pedrog,
Your
as in your former squire.
not my former squire, Erwin's former
Erwin's
squire.
former squire is one
Erwin's
of
former
his
squire.
household.
Yeah.
Yeah. one of
Right.
his household knights.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, Pedrog.
Stepped into it.
He's the son of the merchant.
Mm-hmm.
He probably says some sort of offhand. Okay, so hold on. Let's think about how this goes down, right?
Maybe Gareth overhears it.
You overhear it
He
because
thinks
they're
he's speaking.
yeah, and like he's exactly he's speaking in confidence with his buddies here at the table, and they're like, and they say something about how like, well, now that it's good, it's a good thing that she's not here anymore, and yeah, Gareth, does she disrespect Elaine or do they disrespect you?
It's they're challenging my passion. In this case,
Right.
I think it's challenging my grief. Right? I'm imagining like the opening to Hamlet, where it's like,
oh,
bro,
yeah.
you're still wearing black. Like it's getting a little performative now.
It's gonna be, oh yeah, Pedrog. No, that's exactly what it was. Like, man, he's gonna be wearing black. He's next thing you know, he's gonna be gone for another year. Frumbus is gonna get captured. And Leo and his friends are kind of laughing, right? And he kind of
and
like
that's when the shadow falls over his lamp.
It's like literally with his glass, right? Like,
Owen taught you a great deal, except perhaps the value of silence.
Audible gulp.
Gather your things, and I shall see you outside.
Oh, are you sure you can do that when you're grieving?
And Gareth just walks out.
Sorry, bad taste. Okay.
Yeah, like Ned's note. Just
all right.
But internally, I think
this,
that cuts deep.
Is this a duel? Yeah, but is this like a fight, like you're punching them, or is this like the first blood, like kind of thing, or
first
what?
Blood. Yeah, it was first blood.
All right. Well, he's like, well, I'm gonna need a second. You're gonna need a second.
Indeed.
If you want to do a thing about this, and he's clearly like trying to walk back what he said without saying it by appealing to the rules of the forms of how to duel, right? Like you know that with no intrigue test, that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and Gareth is having none of it. He's gonna point to Killid the Generous, who owes me a favor.
Yeah,
be like, Killid, will you stand as my second?
Absolutely.
Erwin, will you stand for your household knight?
Yes.
God, Sir Pedrog feels so bad right now. Oh my God, he feels so bad. Oh, but he can't show it. Ugh. Well, I stand by my words. I'm an honest man.
Good.
This is what you want. I didn't
Any
want those
honesty
cheeses.
worth having is honesty worth bleeding for.
I didn't want those cheeses anyways. Let's go.
All right.
We're doing this.
So I technically failed my passion roll. Does that mean I have them like -5, -10, -5?
Yeah,
you would have -5. Perhaps you're.
That makes sense. So that just means there is a chance I fail my sword check.
I can look it up.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I wouldn't consider you melancholic here.
Okay.
I don't. right? Or I mean, like not melancholic, the other one, the sad part. But I wouldn't consider that disheartened. I feel like this was the condition for the test, right?
Fair. Okay.
If this was a passion you succeeded, I wouldn't consider you inspired for the rest of the feast.
Yep. Okay. That's
right.
That's
like
sure.
the contrapositive doesn't really.
Yeah, that didn't happen to Erwin last time.
Yeah, so I feel like it was just a test using the lens rather than the mechanics of the passion. Cool. So, I mean, armor, everything.
It's the whole thing. Gareth's
all right.
Gareth's taking it serious.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then you're gonna load up Pendragon here, Erwin. You have a chance to stop this.
In what capacity?
As his second, being like, "Are you sure you want to do this stuff, dude? Just fucking apologize." You can go to Gareth and say, like, "Dude, just fucking like," or your second,
right? So
right? Like you just be like, "Dude, this." Like you both know, like Gareth's clearly upset right now, rightly so.
Sure,
but maybe Pendragon's like, "You shouldn't have fucking done this," as you're like putting on his helmet. You know, good job, buddy.
I mean, yeah,
like,
for
you know
one,
what I mean? Like, what does Erwin? Yeah.
Okay, so that was the question. Yeah, I think I was curious if it was like a huge social faux pas to get in the way of this, but circumstances,
no,
it's like
this is your responsibility as a second.
Okay, gotcha.
Right, and obviously, the generous doesn't feel like he owes a favor. He's like, okay,
sure, yeah,
right.
The first thing he's gonna ask Pedro is, "What'd you say? Why?
Come on, he's wearing black all the time, like he's just moping around.
Lost his wife.
Yeah.
Murderer.
Big deal. We had it. The funeral was months ago.
I think Erwin's just gonna look at Pendragon and just like,
he's never lost a lover.
Sure, he's this young pup over here sitting near the salt. Thinks he's a badass.
Yeah, he's an uppity little shit sitting near the salt. 100%.
I used to be us.
Yeah, no, he's right.
There's some things you do not say; you keep to yourself. Will you fight him? Are you prepared?
Of course I'm prepared. Is he prepared?
We'll talk to him.
Looking out windows, drinking wine probably for the past couple months.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, the first time you lose a loved one, I'll come ask you how you feel months later. Yours is not to determine what a man does with their grief, what they feel in their heart. Keep it to yourself. And Erwin's just going to look at him like...
Yeah, as you like shove the sword into his chest.
Shit, Pendragon.
Yeah, and Pendragon's...
But he's belting him up, He's got the,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But like you're like tightening the belt a little too tight. You know what I mean? Like giving him a little like listen kind of thing. And he's not listening, heeding your advice.
That's fine. His pride's been he's been caught. Yeah. This might just need to happen. Honor must be satisfied. And he'll go talk to Gareth.
Yeah. Okay. Before it's like, Erwin, thank you for being my second. But can you just ask him, is he intending on getting married later this year? Like this is prime time. He can't be moping around.
That sounds like a question for another day, Pendragon.
He doesn't, you know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
This whole sensitivity context here is just,
he's just not. Why should he, right? Like he has a completely different relationship with Gareth.
Yeah, I'm imagining the context it comes up in back when he made his comment is like they're young knights and they're fixing all the problems in the world amongst themselves, right? They're talking, they're like, oh, he's got to get married. Yeah, because he's got those manners. Oh man, can you imagine if we went east and it's like...
You got it. You exactly got it. And he just makes a throwaway comment that now he has to fight for.
Yeah, now he has to fight for it.
And he's like, fine, okay, we're doing it. We're fucking doing it. Like, he literally tried to stop you, and now he's like, that train's
I mean, that's true. He did try to back down, and what's he going to do? Walk away with his tail between his legs?
Right. And, exactly. He tried to back down in the way that, like, without losing face, in the way that both people say, like, well, do you actually want to get seconds and do this whole thing? And you're like, that's the part you're like, on second thought, and and we just kind of grumble,
Make the challenge.
Yeah.
Just think about it for a minute. All right, everyone's going to go talk to Gareth.
He's not apologized, has he?
He will not. He sees himself as in the right.
Hmm.
He is a. Well, I will not act in his defense just yet. What is going on, Gareth? Well, drunk?
I have not drunk since her death. No.
You mean to harm him?
He may be right.
How's that?
He may be right. Most worrisome is I don't know anymore. So, if I should cut him, then he is wrong. And my passion for Elaine runs as deep as ever. But if this is for show, if this is a currency that I pay, continue playing these little games, the black I wear does not run deeper than the cloth, then I deserve to be cut. You trained him. There's a good chance.
It is. It is. He's young. He might be quicker than you, but skill at arms will tell. It's your decision, Gareth.
Yes, it is. And Gareth puts the helmet on, and the camera lingers to the glint of wetness trailing down his face as he does so.
Cool. The camera cuts over to Pendragon, who's like wiping some leftover wine from a drink.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of loosening up.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Roll
No
initiative.
one wants to back down, then that's
That doesn't exist here.
just how it is.
Nah. Just need to get a little cut.
Meet you at
Less
the
than-
baseball field after.
No passions. Or, I mean, he's not doing any passions, to be clear.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
man.
And that
I'll
does
get
it. Yeah.
Man.
So, it's a quick blow. And, yeah, I think he gets you in the arm. I think he gets you in the sword arm.
Yeah.
Like, shield comes up. He gets under your arm and slashes under your arm. Gets you there. Shink, and it's over in like 15 seconds. Like the first run.
Mhm.
And then he's just like, what a buffoon. Here. And he like hands the sword to Erwin, you know, like he's gonna get ready, takes off his helmet. Doesn't have anything to say to you.
Mhm.
Right? What a waste of time. I hope there's some cheese left as he like goes inside.
Gracious winner.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He did earn. I mean, he didn't really earn any glory. I guess he might have earned some glory for it, but yeah. He made him
Gareth
back up
takes
his
the helmet
words.
off and like
Yeah.
catches Erwin's eyes, just deeply pained, red rimmed, and like in that it's just the truth will out, right? Like the eyes say, "I deserved this."
That's some shit, man.
There was no time for weeping in the land of wolves.
No, not the
It's true.
Pendragon is just cocky.
Yep, and he's a cocky
Yeah.
shitbag.
Yeah.
He is.
100%. It is.
Pendragon.
It is that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did what you could.
Yeah. So
It,
tried.
it needed to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
Cool.
Good card.
So, this is where I'm going to interrupt the feast for a minute. Because this is like basically the free gossip test that you are going to get. Why Prince Mark is here. Prince Mark has not come for duties. What do you call it? Shit. Why did my brain tithes for yeah. Prince Mark has not come for a tithe this year. He has come for bodies. His
Yeah.
king, he on behalf of King Idris, I stand before you from the generous and most powerful king. But we to embark against the traitorous Siagrius. I won't even call him a king. We will need good knights. Salisbury is known for such, and like he like points over to everyone kind of near the salt and stuff. And we promise payment for your services this summer. But we require your assistance. Basically, do you want to be mercenaries this year? It's possible.
Against Siagrius?
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
Need I remind you of my king's prior victories at Tintagel and across Somerset? His voice is a little bit higher than that, and it's a little bit younger, right? But his words are true.
Yeah.
Oh, I can dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think getting some money and fighting someone we actually want to fight.
Yeah.
It's a good confluence right there.
Well, yes. Siagrius has gotten and a lot of reasons to hate this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's really become a thorn on our sides.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he's basically asking for an alliance right now. With mercenaries attached. So basically a non-aggression plus mercenaries.
Yeah.
On loan. That he's willing to pay for.
Win-win.
So he's got money, which is another like thing, right?
Right. The other money bag.
Oh, you got money?
Shit.
Yeah.
I like
Orpheus got money. Siagrius got money.
has money.
Yeah, Brastius got money. I think he probably would remark that he's already got Sir Brastius' men.
Yeah, especially if it can feel like a proper Logris campaign.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer for Gareth.
Yeah, you don't have to go. This obviously takes you away from the Bourne and things like that, right? But you will be paid for your services.
So...
You will be fighting. There is probably loot to be had, as that is this kind of game.
Yeah,
that is here I'm in the Anarchy period. You will be sieging.
Then I actually think
you'll be fighting into a town.
Have Ferumbris stay back and administer to the Winterborn Gunnet, the nascent Confederacy. Confederation.
No.
And he's specific. Yeah, and he's gonna take Aiden with him as well.
Cool. Now, as Brethric's, he's technically his, I'm lost for words. Not peasant, squire.
Squire.
Now, taking it out, he is also he's vassalized to you, so you can do that. Mm-hmm. I just feel like, do you say anything to Brethric about it? Like, why him, or do you say something to Aiden particularly?
That's if Bjorthric is not coming. Aiden is still coming. But if Bjorthric is coming, he's obviously going to be with Bjorthric.
Let me see. Yeah, Brethric's coming.
Problem then.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I was basically seeing how if he feels like now his duty's here.
Right.
Which technically, as a vassal, he could kind of, I don't know. It's one of those things where it depends on how your relationship is with him, right?
Well,
as all vassals are.
If I'm his liege and I call the banner, then he's got to show up or else. But I don't think I'm calling the banner. Is my point. I'm saying, fight if you will. Ferumbris, I'd ask that you not, because we need at least you, experienced, good at your job, Ferumbris. God, I love that guy. To keep an eye on this confederation. So, the truth is, both Colin and Gareth are not 100% sure what to fucking do with Moriad's manor right now. Aiden is too young to take over.
Well, you will be. So, here's something to consider while this is happening. There are not too many. Any like available knights that might be here in Sarum are probably going to flock with Idris and King Idris and the Cornwalls, right? And the Cornish, and kind of just gonna flock in there for money and glory, right? They're gonna go where the stuff is. Because typically this is kind of how you're supposed to get mercenaries, right? There's not a lot of mercenaries lying around at this point, right? If you can ride a horse into battle and it's trained, or B, you're just armored. You know what I mean? You can spend the 4 librum to keep yourself maintained. You're in demand, right? So finding one's not spoken for is kind of difficult, which is why this guy's appealing to the fucking court of Salisbury, right? Like he's literally asking other knights. Like there's no one else to ask.
I think I've worked out an idea, but I'm gonna sit on it. Let it percolate.
Yeah, sure.
Because the only rush is to stop because it's reverted to me because he is not old enough to have inherited it yet. Next year he could inherit it, but because he's my vassal, I can still decide if that's the case or not. I think I have an idea.
Okay. Regardless, and this is Mark again, like Prince Mark. Regardless, my generous king has brought you gifts, and he brings out bolts of silk and cotton kind of cloth for clothes for fashions and stuff for next year and things.
Like it.
Yeah. So, you all can get dope clothes. Fresh digs next year.
I like it. All right, Erwin, back to you with the card drawing.
Oh yes, we still have. Yeah.
We do.
That was only one round.
Yeah.
Is
Believe
there
it or
any
not.
potential like downside to going on this? Being a mercenary knight, like, are we going to leave our enemies back home?
Yes.
Wide open. Okay.
That's what leaving home. That's the opportunity cost of leaving home, is that you're not here, right? The opportunity cost of King Richard III going to Jerusalem is, you know, right.
Fucking medieval.
Yeah, right. You're not home.
So a group of knights seek bravery versus foolish, reckless, be valorous. That's might be not bad because I know that everyone has a pretty relatively high valor.
Well, we know the topic. What that's going to be about. So.
Monk wishes to show his worth. He hopes you will hire him after the feast as part of your. I just don't know that everyone's hiring a monk.
Yeah,
just not sure that monks are on his love poem composed well. I think it's a 2. I didn't think Erwin could actually write. Somebody else writes it.
Yeah. Well, you just orate, right? The words.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else composes it.
That's
oh wait, you know your
happened.
Test and compose.
That's what happened. One of the first years after the giant incident. If you recall, Gareth composed a books.
Yeah.
Yes, I recall that now.
And that reminds me. Their name's Morgan, right? Your bard.
Yeah.
God, they probably have had to talk to you about what they want, like how they should write. You described it right. I don't know. She's. Yeah. You don't want this to be truthful. So I guess they want. I guess they want to know is are you going after Siagrius?
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Then
Siagrius killed my wife.
Yeah. They got.
Though, I think Morgan's the only one who knows that. I don't think Gareth let anyone else really know about the challenge point aspect to the death.
Yeah, I kind of implicitly assumed that wasn't a detail let out.
Yeah.
All right, so you tested Valorous versus Reckless.
Yeah, I tested Valorous. It's Valorous versus. Yeah, Valorous versus Reckless. Valorous wins, Reckless loses. So I get 2 genealogy from the card, and then +1. Excuse me. As the knights are impressed by my courageous words. So Erwin's got a lot of battlefield valor to speak to himself. There's the gatehouse, there's the saving the Earl, there's fighting off the Prince of Cornwall or the King of Cornwall.
Who you're gonna go fight alongside now.
Right? Personally dueling.
Technically not that same army, but also kind of that same army.
Yeah, kind of that same army, but not quite. I'm sure most of the household knights are still.
Yeah.
Those that survived. So yeah, well, he's gonna. But even as he's talking about this, he's like, I don't think I can go, guys. I think I might be needed here.
Yeah, that's what Erwin's thinking. Maybe that's the framing of it. They're like, oh, are you excited to go? And you're like, I know what a good battle is, and you can rattle them all off, and you're like, I don't need this one. You guys got it.
I don't need this one's great.
Keep you from the glory, kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he won't stop Nesta from going because I'm,
Oh hell yeah, Nesta's fucking absolutely crushing to go.
Yeah, he's not going to stop her.
Yeah.
But he does expect, his liege's share. They loot, right?
Oh sure, yeah. So you get 1. Yeah, you get.
Go buy yourself a Star Wars.
Yeah, go get yourself a Star Wars. All right.
Oh yeah, 100%. Nesta's gone.
Yeah. So,
sick.
But yeah, Erwin has decided probably it takes him there's a flash of oh, it's been a while. But he's like, oh wait, I have much more important things to do at home.
Yeah. Oh, love it. I really do love this middler aged knights versus all these young knights who it's a good juxtaposition.
It sucks to not get the glory, but at the same time, the older Erwin gets, the more value he has being alive.
Yeah,
and not necessarily in a horse.
Right. You don't have to flex because you got it.
Sure.
Right. There's a confidence in being old and accomplished that doesn't require you to flex as hard.
So, I got mead, which isn't that interesting. Striking
for this
fashion disaster. I would jump on any other feast. Like someone comes in wearing the same clothing as you.
What
as funny as it is to have someone else shows up all in black, and it's like, oh, but I'm doing it because I'm in mourning. You're just trying to be in the fashionable. But I'm actually really intrigued with safekeeping. A knight asks you to keep a piece of jewelry safe for him. And the reason that intrigues me is just because it's kind of a weird thing to do. And it's also exactly the kind of thing that he immediately usually have gone to Elaine over.
Yeah.
But now he's on his own. So how suspicious is he on his own? So it's trusting versus suspicious. A little bit trust. I fail trusting, and I succeed at suspicious. So I have to deny him. And that means I have to roll courtesy not to offend him. And I fuck that up. And that's basically what I expected to happen. So I actually lose a geniality.
Amazing.
Man.
So he probably asks you to keep. All right. So this would probably not be a younger knight. This was probably something more established. Maybe even one of the lords, like Sir Lycus or something.
Mm-hmm.
Asking you for
I've got the tower, right? They know that I've buried my own treasure there somewhere.
Yeah. But you deny them.
Yeah, I think very bluntly, I am no banking institution, no usurer. And in this day and age, if I'm to be judged by how well I defend my own, then all men should be. Which is not a tactful way to.
Yeah, kind of denouncing with bad intentions. Um, hmm. Yeah, all right. Sorlek is not happy with that, but the card is the card.
Card's the card.
So you failed.
Yeah.
3 rounds, yeah.
Correct. Cheese.
Yes, it's the cheese.
Variety of cheeses round.
Variety of cheeses.
There's more food. Oh yeah. More food obviously is the pies,
Oh yeah.
right?
Mm.
Your favorite.
Let me
The
select-
sorry, I said pies, but my obviously pastries, right?
Oh, yeah.
The pasties
The
are
pasties.
the pasties are
pasties. All right. For some reason, this is not letting me zoom in on them.
you can press
Oh.
Z.
Yeah, I've been.
I was zoomed in. Sorry. I think if
Oh.
one person's doing it, the rest can't.
Oh,
For real?
This has happened. This has happened before. It's going to happen
Okay.
again.
All right,
Okay.
it's your fault then.
Yeah, easily.
Great deeds. So you have great deeds. It's an easy one. Seems
Yeah.
pretty good. Holy blessing. You are blessed by higher powers.
That's like one of those
Um,
keep and get
yeah.
a thing afterwards.
Yeah, it's an easy 15 glory.
Yeah. And Erwin is actually looking for help from a higher power, given the the yellow sign he sees and the dreams he has.
Yeah.
I think that's enough justification for me to take that card.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just takes a little bit.
Yeah. It's not a... What do you think the blessing takes the form of then? Is it just like is it nothing actually, like a vision, or is it just a sense of calmness? Is it just a confidence?
Druid Keith
Yeah.
asked, advised that Sir Erwin seek out Lady Great as sort of a way to be, to like calibrate his moral compass is how I kind of heard it. And while we haven't really followed up with that, I think it's happened, presumably, and out of metagame, I'm kind of going back to maybe like Erwin had this whole, was he gonna like embrace his sort of the pagan heritage of the region that he lives in, or like go all in on the church? And I think he's kind of probably disillusioned, having known like what Father Tathan was capable of, and just what,
Yeah.
I kind of might want to return to that. So I don't know. Is this any sort of blessing, or is it just like holy blessing, as in?
I describe holy blessing. It doesn't have to be spiritual. It could be pagan, or it could be worldly as well.
I kind of like that it's Easter feast, and maybe he's like, I really don't. There's whatever else he doesn't see, or he doesn't feel.
Right. Well, there's something to consider here that happened, obviously, and I think this is an important part that we shouldn't gloss over, is that like I don't want to like do PR for the church, but like that funeral and shit meant something to a lot of people, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Not saying that like a pagan funeral can't also do that,
Certainly.
but the way the church, like a church's rituals for funerals has they really do, in a way that exactly, and that brings a lot of people comfort, right?
Sure.
Like the idea, like literally, like if Catholicism does one thing, is that the idea this world is suffering and that freedom and salvation exists on the other life.
It's a good thing,
and this is a good thing. Then when there's suffering and then there's loss in this time, that is their one job.
Yeah.
And
certainly.
So that you certainly had a good example of them.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I don't think he's like, he's very cynical about it. I think it's more the personal relationships he has.
Sure. With
Tathan and Caridic.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, for me, the big thing, I think just a minute. I've clearly got something stuck in my throat.
Yeah.
It's only been one of those kind of sessions. Just a second.
Yep.
So my thought is like every time he's faced these supernatural things, the people who might be on his side, who might protect him or who he might see some sort of camaraderie with, are always druids, Erlin, you know, a giant that appears to be friendly-ish, you know, three-eyed. And so there's never been any angels, there's never been any saints. And I think like for Erwin, that's just the bottom line. It's like this, maybe when I die, I'll have to reckon for this, but like these things have a reality in my life right now. Like I sense them. That's I think maybe where he's headed.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
Not that he's not impressed by a good funeral.
Sure. Okay.
The cathedral's beautiful.
It's a good talk. I like that. Okay. You get blessed. Make sure you roll 1d4 for every attack and saving throw.
So, I read the other two and they seem cool, but one of them's a host card. The host rises and calls for a toast. Courtesy, all players.
Ooh, awesome. Obviously, Lady Jenna is calling for a host to their guests near the end of the feast, right, for thanking them. Prince Kernick, right, of Wessex, the Chad, right, and Prince Mark.
I'm glad I looked this up. Each point of geniality gives a +1 bonus to courtesy.
Yes.
It gives +1 bonus to a lot of stuff that we always forget, but
it's true.
Courtesy is the one that matters.
Sure. We do forget that a lot.
All right, so
I have 1, 2, 3.
Sometimes,
4.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel bad about trying to be an example for rules of games, where we just literally fucking forget about them, or I will tell you like, listen, I changed the rules here.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh well, we're not missing it. I feel like we're not missing anything. What'd you say? This is courtesy.
Are these the current glory totals?
Yeah.
It's genealogy, not
genealogy,
total glory that you want. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then that's 3. That raises mine to 15. So hopefully it's not too.
Yeah, should be okay.
Boom.
5.
Crit check. Your speech. You have an amazing speech. You have been on point for any sort of guidance, wisdom, advice, counsel.
Yeah.
Erwin the Wise is getting up there as a name.
Yeah, you're continually hitting these strides, even since Uther, right?
Right.
Well done.
He's rough. He's rough in the day-to-day. His peasants hate him.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing is that you have no advice for your peasants. They hate you. They literally think you're a necromancer. Yeah, but when it comes to knights asking for advice about romance, military politics, if they can get your ear and listen to you, that is, for your opinion, man, it's super valuable. So awesome.
So I get 2 geniality and Jim gets 4.
Sweet.
Critical.
Oh no,
success.
you get 5. No,
it's winning
5.
character. Yeah, so he wins and gets a critical. Yeah. Or so he gets +2 and +5. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's good because that was Lady Jenna. That's going to make an impression. If you know.
And right, we pitched you on the young council, which is meant to offer her guidance. So choice nuggets right there.
And you gained 2 additional geniality this go, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So then that would end our feast.
It's 50.
So then I'll cash in my holy blessing for that extra
+15.
Yeah.
Go. What are our totals?
Let me do the maths real quick. I got 50 in the end.
No, you get 70.
No, because one of them has a -1.
Oh.
The one I turned upside down.
Got it. So they neutralize.
Oh, I do have, yes.
No, so the one card.
Oh,
so
6. Yeah, 60, not 50.
Yeah. So 60 for Sir Gareth. Erwin.
It's 100, but that seems a little low.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 8 geniality just from rounds and
just from rounds, and then there's that 2
9,
from
10,
the card.
10. Yeah, 115.
115. Yeah.
Assuming
tremendous feast for you.
He, the last 3 feasts, he's actually broken either really close to 100 or at like a 90. Of course, I have been pumping all my courtesy and intrigue, and everyone's sharpening his sword.
Yeah. God.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love
good
it.
stuff.
Cool. So is that a check for it, or is it an increase by 1?
That's a check.
Check.
Okay.
Okay, so we're getting near the end of the session then. Going into the summer, we are going to be doing some sort of split stuff where we're going to be doing a couple battles and raids because Gareth, you're heading out. And you'll be fighting against them. You'll be obviously fighting against you'll be fighting with King Ingress against Syagrius and their retinues and mercenaries.
How does Pendragon feel about riding against
Pendragon's all in on that. Absolutely. This
So
is an
as
easy
my
way to get
household
glory.
knight- as my household knight, if I'm staying, he's not going, correct?
Well, you can order him to stay.
Well, I think what Erwin would do is give him his blessing. Like like the last thing Erwin wants to do is continue to like rankle this guy. And he's a young knight. He needs a way to blow off steam and earn himself some glory. So I think Pendragon's just gonna be like, if he needs a lance to ride in to, he's good.
What I'm saying here is that, and I want you to take this way, and what kind of leader you are. Pendragon does not seek your blessing. Pendragon is going.
Yeah, that's what
right.
That's what I was trying to gauge.
Yeah. Sorry, and that's what I was trying to get to, is that he is not going to be like, Mother, may I go join the battles, please? He is going with his friends, heading out, and letting someone let you know.
Yeah.
Assuming it's okay. Right.
Sure.
Like he's not gonna.
Erwin might seek him out, but Erwin remembers this.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's not gonna leave you. Like if you call him back, like you can drag him back by his ear, so to speak, right? And he'll obviously come because you're his vassal and doesn't want to get kicked out. That's not deal with all that. But like he is kind of leaving and hoping that you also don't want to be the one who shows up like, oh, I'm actually not here. I'm here for my son. Like, tries to, like, he doesn't want you, like, that kind of thing too. Like, he's kind of hoping that it kind of, you don't want to put on that either.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's young. He's reckless.
He's reckless. Yeah. Well, that's the whole reason Erwin was going to be like, you should go do this. He just wasn't sure if it was like, he's going to go do it himself or.
Yeah. Him and Nesta. Him and Nesta for sure have gone.
Okay. Yeah. I knew Nesta would. All right. Yeah. Sounds good.
And maybe it's Sir Nesta is the one who tells you that he's left, and he's like, don't worry, I'll keep good eye on this dumb kid.
Sure. Yeah. Keep an eye on him.
Right.
Let him think he's got one over on me. That kind of thing.
Exactly. Right. Like very, very astute. Cool. Can you give why since you're staying around, and you're kind of like you're going back to Chalderton, can you roll a stewardship test for me, please?
Versus mine or versus Lady Grade's?
No, this is yours. And this is kind of like maybe even this is basically like an awareness test only for your own stuff around your Chalderton.
Cool. One has never been.
Okay. No, that's what I wanted to know. Okay. No, that's fine. Then your wife will be here.
Okay.
And your wife will be the one who comes up to tell you this. So, Orwin, I'm correct to assume that you won't be joining the young ones out gallivanting for King Idris this summer.
Correct.
Wonderful. Good. Then you can help me with these beetles. Yeah. I've just heard from our stable hand, I guess. A stable hand. There's some sort of beetle of some kind, and she doesn't know what the word like taxonomy. It's a vine weevil. I think that's what it's called.
Sure. Get the horses out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some sort of beetle. And you're dealing with some beetles that are going to be eating your hay.
That's fine. That sucks.
If this is not taken care of, I will let you know. The consequence of this is that you'll be suffering -$1 at the end of the year.
No, he's
you
gonna
had a
devote
conflict,
himself to
and this is what comes up in the summer for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
No, he's
but I'm-
gonna get taken care of.
yeah.
He's watched
If
at least
you-
two
yeah.
people down the board.
because
all their
you
stock.
because you chose not to go and you're
Yeah.
here. I feel like that could be a problem. You might be able to address this coming session.
Sure.
If you, whichever way, whether it's
I'll
buying
earn
more
my
hay
glory dealing with wheat
or
weevils.
yep, but you're dealing with beetles. They're not the size of anyone's heads. They're very small. But they're just very annoying, and they will kill your
send
crops.
A bunch of them to Ceterius.
They will kill your crops. They'll
Sure.
Kill them dead.
No, this needs to be taken care of. And you know what?
And Gareth, you are safe. No conflicts for you this summer.
Nice.
Are we cool with kind of splitting the foreign plus domestic kind of thing next session?
Yeah.
Gonna be
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
kind of like two kind of solo games together. Cool.
I like
That's-
it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Also, then kind of expect, or at least I'm going to just tell you all that I should expect to be done this year, probably next year as well.
Okay.
Barring any like intense role play negotiations that take 45 minutes or whatever, which I'd be absolutely down to the clown with. But just so you know, that we'd be going into winter phase probably as well.
Sure.
This is kind of like a
so we're
easy
gonna wait
year.
a bit to like solidify the council and who the
That will probably, yeah, I feel like that's part of the fall. Like in my notes for the
Okay.
fall is sort of like the official forming of the council and ratifications and stuff like that. And but yeah, depending how that falls out, it might change those plans.
Cool.
However, that's the deal. Okay.
Mhm.
Then
that sounds good.
cool.
Sucks for Erwin's glory, but it's all right.
Yeah.
I kind of like him now and don't want him to die.
Yeah.
And I know I've grown too attached to him.
So Gareth, don't worry about the harm from the first blood. That takes a couple weeks, and obviously we're in months, so you're gonna heal up every Sunday for the hit points or whatever.
Yeah.
So don't.
Ain't no thing.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really even people are like, dude, you got fucked up at the feast, right? Like no one remarked at it. Cool. Awesome. Was there any last sort of things you want me to know, or have anything for plans or anything like that? Intentions?
No,
Or
not yet.
any roles of
No.
any kind to worry about? Okay,
Still,
cool.
still letting the Manor question percolate.
That's absolutely a question. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome then.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. We've either addressed it or there's nothing more that Erwin can do about it.
Sure. So good session.
Cool.
Plenty of feasts and a funeral. That's Anarchy.
How many years have we dealt with this anarchy now? 4?
Yeah, coming. I think the lot
15.
485. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're coming
This
up on
is-
year 500.
We're coming up on year
Absolutely
500, right?
nothing important can happen on a year 500,
Nothing.
right?
Definitely
it's
not.
such it's a nothing. It's
It'd
great.
be like the year 2000. Everybody would be crazed about it, and then it's nothing.
Hopefully. I think that's how it worked out. Good. So then we'll be coming in for 499 part 2 next week.
Good.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Very good.
Awesome. Any announcements, outros, Colin?
Hi, I'm Colin, Mr. Cool Guy. I make RPGs and RPG stuff. You can find my work on itch.io, Phantom Roll Booth. Sorry, the Phantom Roll Booth.itch.io. For my little garbage games, I've got 2 in the pipeline that I'm playtesting. So hit me up if you want to playtest those. I'm always looking for feedback. That's me.
Very good. I am Jim Davis of WebDM. You can check us out on YouTube on our main channel, WebDM, where I don't know, you were talking about D&D and shit, other RPGs occasionally, but come on, it's really just D&D.
The only one.
Right? There's only the one game. And then also WebDM plays, although I personally am not really on there anymore. You can check out my older games.
Yeah.
I also turned 40 this week, so that's crazy. That's like 2 days.
Happy birthday.
So thank you very much. That was just throwing it out there for you guys because it's fucking 40. So
Good luck on your aging tests.
right, thank you. I've already failed many, so
Yeah. Good
Fun
stuff.
times.
Colin.
Yes. I already did my outro.
You already did your outro.
I did.
Colin,
Sorry
did you
for
are you
this-
sure you didn't do it? I'm just kidding. All right, well, there's me. Cool. Let's see. Tonight I'm meeting with my Sunfall fans because we're putting together our Pepe Sylvia board of conspiracies that Steven has out for us. So if you're interested in what I'm talking about, that's a D&D game on Wednesdays that we play over on Jesse Cox's channel. We're about 69 sessions deep. That's the funny number. And on Sundays, the reason it's in my head is that if you like Pendragon, then you should check out Oath of Endosteel, which is the Pendragon Battletech mashup that my friend AP Gaming Real is running. I'm a player of it. I'm one of 3 players in it. 2-hour sessions of that game. It is chock full of fun lore and jokes of the Battletech universe, as well as some fantastic role playing. I play a character who's kind of like Erwin, only younger and more dealing with his own grief, and it's very fun. It's one of my favorite characters I've ever played so far. And we get to play with mechs. So if you want all that sweet Battletech goodness and stuff like that, that is Oath of Endosteel. All right, that's it. We're out of here. Thank you all so much, chat. We appreciate your support. We love that you're all here hanging out, giving us the good scoops. And hello everyone on YouTube. Thank you for all your fun comments. And I love watching people write a comment to a video and then 12 hours later write a comment to a video 7 sessions later. That you have been I see you. I love it. I love that you love this stuff so much. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a good night. Bye.
Good night.